What's up everyone, it's Q from RetroQ Gaming, and I've good news for you if you're a fan of Nintendo Switch and Capcom. Because Capcom, remember a little while back, before the launch of Ultra Street Fighter 2 on Nintendo Switch, Capcom was real cagey about their support for Nintendo Switch, and they kind of insinuated that it hinged on the sales numbers of Ultra Street Fighter 2, and everyone was really up in arms about that because, well, it wasn't really fair that they hinged it on that, because it was an overpriced version of a port of a game from 20 years ago. So I mean, it was a really dodgy situation. So I mean, here the game launched for €50. I believe in America it was about 40. I personally got my copy for about €42 off Amazon. So that was really nice anyway, and you know, it was decent enough. Granted, I have played a lot of Ultra Street Fighter 2 and I'm very happy with the amount of time I've got in the game and the time I plan to spend playing the game as well. So definitely a worthwhile investment for me. But I'm not here to make a video to talk about my personal investment with the game. What I am here to talk about is that Capcom is actually happy with how the performance of Ultra Street Fighter 2 on Switch has done. The game launched 2 months ago at the end of May, and in those 2 months of release on only Nintendo Switch, Capcom had sold 450,000 copies of Ultra Street Fighter 2. Now you may be saying, wait a minute, that's less than a 10% install base from the Nintendo Switch, because it sold roughly, I think it's 4.17 million units, but the point is, that's still a decent amount of sales for an Ultra Street Fighter 2 game. Now, not only for an Ultra Street Fighter 2 sales numbers aspect, but at the same time, the fact that it was mainly considered overpriced versus what you were getting in it, which turned a lot of people off. So, considering all of that, 450,000 is successful to Capcom for this particular game. And they have announced that because of this, and they're happy with the sales performance of Ultra Street Fighter 2, that they are looking to bring more games and more series to Switch, and Switch versions of existing and new future games, which is nothing but a good thing, for the simple reason is we're going to get more Capcom games on Switch, be it stuff in the future, stuff we may not know about, stuff we may know about. They may get ports to the Nintendo Switch, or there may be ports for existing games for Nintendo Switch. We may see stuff like the HD remakes, or HD remasters I suppose at this point, of the remake of Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 was the remaster of the remake. Resident Evil 0 was just a remaster. But we may get stuff like that. We may get the upcoming Resident Evil 2 full remake on there. Recently, Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 have been remastered. We may even get a port from the Resident Evil 7 for Nintendo Switch. Especially when you look at it, I think Resident Evil 4 and 5 would be most likely. Possibly 1 and 0, but 4 and 5 I think would be most likely. Especially 5, because 5 has a version that already runs on the Tegra X1. So it makes sense that that would be the easy one to port. We'll see how it goes. There may be bunches of other stuff too. We may get stuff like Mega Man X collections. We may get collections of some of their older games, some of their newer games, whatever. Some of their more obscure games. They may remake any new things in the future, as well as come out with new titles in series and new IPs. We may even see Switch ports of stuff that originally skipped the Switch too. Looking at you, Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 and Disney Afternoon Collection, games which have historically skipped Nintendo platforms despite arguably being on Nintendo platforms before. So this is nothing but a good thing if you're a Switch fan and a Capcom fan, because you're gonna have more games on your console to actually play. And on the plus side, even if these games aren't to your liking, the fact that more developers and third-party support is coming to the Nintendo Switch, it makes it appeal more to a wider audience, which could make it sell more, which could make other companies and other developers jump in and make games for it too. So that has a knock-on effect if it all goes well. So that's it. It's good to see Capcom, or hopefully, I still say hopefully because they haven't listed anything specifically and we still need to wait and see how it pans out. But the point is, hopefully all this is going to go well. Hopefully Capcom are going to give some better support. Hopefully we'll see a localized version of Monster Hunter Double Cross outside of Japan on Nintendo Switch, because I know I'd buy it. So what Capcom franchises would you see, or would you love to see ported to Nintendo Switch? I think it would be nice to have the Resident Evil remasters, including 0, 1, 2, well 2 when it comes out, 4, 5, and 6. Although, granted, I absolutely hate 6, but 5 is my guilty pleasure, and 4 is good, and 0 and 1 are good too. And on top of that, I would love to see some stuff like, let's say, a Mega Man X collection. That's something I'd love, because I love the Mega Man X series. I'd love to see something like that. There's stuff between Monster Hunter. They have other things as well, possibly different versions of Street Fighter. That's actually something I'd love. I'd love if they brought over some Street Fighter 3. There's already an existing updated version on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I believe it's called Online Edition. But they could tweak that or bring that over, or maybe do an Ultra Street Fighter 3 job and work it that way somehow. The potential is there. The hardware is there. The Capcom have a wealth of back catalogue. I'm sure they'll figure something out. So let me know in the comment section below what you would like to see from Capcom on the Nintendo Switch. And be realistic about it, guys, because there are games out there that would require heavily downgrading to run on Nintendo Switch. Feel free to put those in, but don't expect like a complete top tier AAA graphics game. But, you know, feel free to throw it in the comment section below. Just be a bit realistic about it anyway. Let me know all of that, as well as if you think it's a good idea and a good thing for Nintendo Switch that this is potentially happening, because, well, I think it is. Let me know all of that anyway in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.